Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and productive day. And in the news this morning, 18 arrested for various offenses in St. Mary. 18 people were arrested during a targeted operation in Port Maria, St. Mary on Friday. According to Deputy Superintendent of Police Kevin Francis, 2 were arrested for ganja-related offenses, while the others were taken into custody based on warrants. The police carried out targeted raids across the parish with the support of police personnel from PSTEB, where high-risk targets were pursued, Francis told the news. He said more operations are in the works for targeted areas. We will continue our efforts to serve and to protect the people of the parish of St. Mary while assuring law-abiding citizens and the business interest. We encourage our citizens to report to strange persons entering their communities so that there can be a partnership between residents and the police, he said. Family trying to help brothers recover from loss of both their parents in separate tragedies during school holiday. Life will never be the same for the 2 children shared by Kean Sterling and Horace Campbell after both their parents died in separate incidents during the summer holiday. However, Molly Campbell, the children's maternal grandmother, told the news that their families will try to support them in any way they can despite having very little resources. Molly is also hopeful that assistance will come their way as she and the children's paternal grandmother, Beverly Wedderburn, take on the role of primary caregivers. It has been bad, even though it is very bad because it worries me a lot that the kids have no mother and no father. This has affected us a lot. It has been very hard because we're thinking that their father would have been here to help both grandparents, said Molly. Sterling passed away during the passage of Hurricane Beryl on July 3. According to reports, the 33-year-old mother of 2 died after sustaining injuries in a freak accident in Green Island, Hanover. She was reportedly hit by a falling tree limb after exiting her home in search of cell services. Her body remained outside overnight until the Category 4 hurricane moved away from the island. Campbell, who is said to have been there with Sterling on the day of the tragic accident, was left devastated by her passing. Though heartbroken, he became focused on preparing their 8-year-old son for his return to primary school in September, while assisting their 16-year-old son with the next step of his education journey, his mother told the news on Sunday. However, Campbell will not see his son decked out in the new khakis he purchased for the upcoming school year, as he died in a motorcycle accident on August 9. Molly told the news that their families have been left in shock by the tragic ending of both lives. However, she has been left with a big void after losing Sterling, her only child. She was so loving and nice. She was working at a hotel in Negril, and they said that she was a very nice lady. They lost a very loving worker. She used to do housekeeping, Molly said. As for Campbell, Molly said he was a loving person too. He took care of the children and they were with him after their mother passed away, she further explained. While noting that the 2 boys have experienced major trauma and loss over the summer, Molly is looking forward to brighter days as they seek to continue pursuing their education. Sterling passed away on the day her elder son was scheduled to graduate from high school. They're going on okay. They were here with me, but they're now with their other grandmother over by their father's house. The big one told me that he wants to go to the art school. I got an application form for him, and he filled it out, but they told me that he must be at least 17 years old before enrolling, she told the news. Molly added, the young one, he's just 8 years old, so it's like he doesn't even understand. He knows that mommy and daddy died. He seems to be okay because I don't hear him talking about anything, but I don't know. In the meantime, Molly said she is hoping that financial and psychological assistance can be provided to support the boys' schooling during this difficult situation. She shared that though their families have not yet decided on the children's primary residence, they are trying to put things in place to help them. Because at this time I am not working, I am a sick person, I am asthmatic and hypertensive, she said. The boy's paternal grandmother further told the news that her other children have stepped up to assist. At the same time, Molly is grateful for the well-wishers who have made efforts to comfort her family as they work through this tragic period. In a written response to the news, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency shared that plans are afoot to contact the bereaved family this week. A member of the CPFSA First Responder Team is scheduled to make contact with the family on Monday, August 26, 2024, to arrange a visit with them to not only check on the well-being of the children, but to also note the psychological support that they and their family members will require. Main runway at the Sanctuary Airport in Mobay closed because of minor damage, says VAZ. The main runway at the Sanctuary International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James has been temporarily closed because of minor damage. Another runway has been opened for arriving flights. MBJ Airports Limited, the operators of the facility, advised Sunday evening. The runway closure occurred at approximately 1:45 p.m. on Sunday after the damage was observed, according to Transport Minister Darrell Vaz. He said 7 inbound flights were diverted to the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. There have been at least 2 flight cancellations. Departures resumed at about 3:20 p.m. and landings were due to resume at 5 p.m. The flights that were diverted to the Norman Manley Airport have resumed their journey to Sanctuary International Airport with their passengers which remained on board while at NMIA, Vaz explained. He further noted that we are expecting the runway repairs to be completed tonight and they should be back to normality for flights arriving and departing out of Montego Bay August 26. Rejection of UK's $5.5 billion prison deal was a fatal move. Federation of Corrections chairman believes it will now cost over $31 billion to construct a maximum security facility. Jamaica should have acted on the $5.5 billion offer from the United Kingdom's government for the construction of a new prison, first disclosed in 2015, chairman of the Jamaica Federation of Corrections, Arlington Turner, believes. Turner, who has been in his role for 13 years, is of the view that the rejection had more to do with not wanting to accept an offer from former colonialists, which he said was logical. But if we had accepted such a prison, a £25 million or Jamaican $5.5 billion prison that was supposed to be built, and they were supposed to send some inmates when they are about to be released, and the money would follow, we would now have a maximum security prison, Turner told the news on Tuesday. We would have a state-of-the-art prison that can hold our prisoners in safe custody. He added, these cell phone issues that we are talking about today, we would never have these issues. So yes, it should have been accepted. But as custodians, we are not a part of the politics and we don't speak politics. I think the politics got involved where that prison was concerned, and this is why it was rejected. He noted that the government rejected the offer without having a viable option. He said it was reasoned that Jamaica would fund its own prison and did not accept the offer made by David Cameron, the then UK Prime Minister, who made the announcement on a visit to Jamaica in September 2015 during Portia Simpson Miller's stewardship of the country. Turner said then several proposals have been drafted for a self-funded prison, as well as discussions put on the table, but has said if the latest dialogue surrounding the issue is dissected, it is clear that there are no plans to build a new facility. We cannot continue with these prisons. The cost is coming from $3 billion to $8 billion, and now we are hearing about $31 billion and counting to build a prison with no serious moves to build any prisons, he stressed. So we don't really have any serious impetus from the government to build any correctional facility, and I think these facilities will have to fall right down before they are serious about building a facility. The construction of a new prison has been a years-long thorny issue, with considerations given to the political consequences of funding a modern maximum security facility. The subject has again taken center stage following a disclosure by Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey that the 8 persons killed in Clarendon and the injuring of at least 10 on August 11 in Cherry Tree Lane, Clarendon, was facilitated from behind the bars. While firm in his aversion to accepting the offer from the British when he was opposition leader, Holness in 2020 said that the offer to help build a prison here was rejected by the Simpson-Miller-led government in 2016 and not the now ruling Jamaica Labour Party. Holness said the People's National Party administration, which his JLP booted from office in February 2016, had by then rejected the offer, saying there was no advancement on a non-binding memorandum of understanding that was reportedly signed. From the known actions of the PNP, or lack thereof, one could conclude that the PNP had in fact rejected the 2015 offer, Holness said. I cannot speak for what the PNP accepts as an offer between governments. However, the standard of this government is that statements in the press or general discussions, even with ministry officials, do not amount to offers between countries. Jamaicans were outraged at the proposal, which would see the British funding 40% of the cost, Jamaica the remaining 60%, and the return of over 300 Jamaicans serving time in UK prisons. Holness, while in opposition, said the offer was not beneficial to Jamaica. Former British High Commissioner to Jamaica, Asif Ahmad, said it was Holness in August 2017 who told his government that the JLP administration would not take forward the United Kingdom's offer to help build the prison. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.